ladies and gentlemen on Washington Football Weekly, we had some news, and that's a familiar thing that we say around here on Washington Football Weekly, be it coaching, be it our owner, which we will talk about, or be it the D.C. Attorney General and the whole story of what happened to Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
Let's
So we're a little early, and we're basically just saying tune in tomorrow. But there's going to be some more anti-Snyder information coming out.
Yes.
So what we talked about last week, where's some of the sale coming from? And I think some of it has to do with what's going to come out tomorrow. The D.C. Attorney General has taken the information from the congressional panel that was investigating Snyder and is investigating things a little bit further. What they're looking at is into the team's finances. It's essentially when the Redskins would have non-Redskin games, Taylor Swift's in town, the Rolling Stones are in town, concerts and stuff like that. The percentage that they would give back to the owners was not the percentage that they were supposed to, and they were skimming the books on it. And I think this is where they're gonna rule on some things, and they said they're gonna rule on stuff that Snyder was involved in. So it's not gonna be pretty for Dan Snyder. All right, so that's coming tomorrow. That's the preview. They made this announcement today. What the Commanders did and what Snyder's team did, you can't don't put the whole team in here. This is numero uno at the top. Go ahead and doing this. Put out a really, really disingenuous, just a pathetic statement, and basically saying that they started off by saying, since this is coming from the Attorney General of D.C., that one of our players got shot 3 months ago because of the crime in your city that you're not paying attention to. And then they went on to blast saying that, he should be focusing on the crime in the city. We've been working with him and giving him all this information. This is just a political stunt. So this continues to be just the crap that Dan Snyder does. Like, this is why everyone hates you, Dan. This is why everyone wants you out of here and saying good riddance, because you're about to look terrible tomorrow. You're going to be tied to whatever they have to say about this team that you own, that you're a part of, and you come up with just pathetic, petty statements like this that come on behalf of the team. So you're lumping everyone in to your own, brand of shittiness. Pardon my French. Sorry. But so we'll just have to see tomorrow. But this is why everyone was so excited when the announcement was that they're going to sell, because we're just sick of this crap. Everyone is, and especially in DC.
It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. So look, let's move on to some good news then. Piggybacks right off of that. Him selling the team. Look, we've talked about, now the writing's on the wall. We can say that it's going to happen. We can say with some kind of confidence that this is definitely going to be happening. This is the move that's going to be made. And a lot of names are coming up. We've talked about a couple of the guys that were in the running talk about what Byron Allen was one of those guys. I think Jabari Harris, one of those guys that were in the running for the Broncos job. A couple of those other jobs trying to become owners. And obviously, like you said, I got to shout you out. What you said, this is a hot commodity. People want to be the owner of the Washington Commanders, just this whole franchise. So we've got names. Bezos and Jay-Z were two that were linked together. But, Will, there's some additions to that group. Delilah, she mentioned one of them. Who else is on board trying to jump on this train?
Yeah, so RG3, if he's trying to put a team together and be a part of an investment group. We have mentioned, I think Jay was asking us, are we excited about Bezos and Jay-Z? And would that get us excited? And another guy that wants to join that team is Mr. All right, Matthew McConaughey, lifetime Skins fan.
Yeah.
Big time Redskins fan. And he said it would be a dream of mine to be a part of a team that owns it. So we're starting to see, some other folks that are coming around here. I'm waiting. I think the next guy that's going to come out is going to be Dale Jr. Huge Redskins fan.
Yes.
And that's when we talk about why this is going to be such a hot commodity, is because there are people who know it when the team was the logo that I'm wearing is when they were the Redskins and not the Redskins
Right.
of 2010 and
Exactly.
2005 and of the
Exactly.
Redskins of the 80s and 90s when they were a dominant franchise and a premier team in the league. And that's what some of these guys are going to want to remember. Um, Here's my thing on the Jeff Bezos Jay-Z thing. I'm pumping the brakes so hard on that for two reasons. All right. And some of it has to do with Snyder's pettiness that we saw tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
the leading newspaper that is bringing up all these allegations and situations against him is the Washington Post. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. You mean to tell me that the paper that is making me lose my team is who I'm going to sell that to?
Exactly.
I gotta say, I don't know if he's going to do it. I can see him being petty enough to say, I'm not selling to that guy.
Not to that person, right?
Plus, the other thing with that at the owners is if Jeff Bezos comes into the owner to be an owner of the league, he's the richest man in the league.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
You're talking about a lot of old dudes with big money that are used to always getting their way.
Yep.
And now this guy who's the richest man in the league walks into the room, and the richest person in the room usually has the most power. So you telling me that Jerry Jones is going to be like, oh, hey, Jeff, what would you like to do with the league?
Right.
What are your ideas on how we can make more revenue? So I just think there's a little bit of like a pissing contest among the owners. And I just wonder if they would not be thrilled for a Jeff Bezos to come in, just knowing that of the clout that he has. So I think it's going to be real interesting. I mean, I think $7 billion is what they think it's going to go for.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to take folks that like Jay-Z and like McConaughey and Dale Jr. to it's going to take a collaboration of people to do this.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Walton family who owns Walmart saying, okay, we can put this up as collateral. We're going to buy the Denver Broncos. So I think it's going to be interesting to see who else comes out. But, I mean, it certainly gets you excited. And the timeline alone just gets me excited that maybe by March we're talking about a new owner.
That is craziness. Got people watching. Nate said, if hoping a DMV businessman or woman can make a run for owning the team.
I love that. I agree.
Yeah. Somebody that's from the area that knows the team.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another reason why I like McConaughey kind of hopping on there because he has loved it for so long.
Right.
I mean? Does Jay-Z know the culture of DC? Can a New York and a Washington blend together?
Well, Jay-Z just wants to be in the NFL. That's why he's come in partnership with them for various things with Rock Nation. He wants to be an owner in the league. So, no, I don't think he cares anything about the Commanders. There's nothing about that that excites him. It's how often does a team become available? Right. And you are talking about, though, a major media market, unlike Denver of DC.
Very true. Very true. Plus, Jeff Bezos right now isn't a good look because there's an issue with the NBA and what he has on his platform. Okay. Interesting.
I don't pay that much attention to the NBA enough to know. But I will say, shout out, Nate, you've got a question that of one of our next segments here, right here. Did you see this? A little forecasting there, Nate.
Okay. Great call. We'll go ahead and segue right in. And in a discussion, a little NFL news that actually kind of directly affects us. We have been linked with the Colts through Carson Wentz, who was their quarterback a year ago. And we know how our Jim Irsay and him kind of went back and forth, and they wanted him out. Well, look, Irsay, he's having issues all around the board. First and foremost, you get rid of your OC. You bench the quarterback that you traded over here from the Falcons and Matt Ryan. And that wasn't maybe not on him, but then you got your coach now he's been fired. We've known Irsay has been very outspoken about our owner. He's got a lot of stuff going on over there in Indianapolis. But from a coaching perspective, and going back to this question, Frank Reich, fired from them, great offensive mind, knows Carson Wentz. Could this be beneficial? Could we potentially make a run at getting him here?
You want to take this first?
No, that's all you.
Okay. I got to go first? All right. So I'm going to say yes in 2023, but not in 2022. Remember that time when we were was Jim Zorn the head coach. We
Oh,
brought in Sherm Lewis out. He was calling bingo in retirement. All right, and we brought him in, and I think we ended up firing some coach, or maybe I don't know, but he ended up calling the offensive plays. Some guy who was retired at the time. It just caused that he came in as an analyst and ended up becoming a play caller, and it just caused a lot of turmoil. I love the idea of Frank Reich coming in. If Carson Wentz were to be on this team again next year, yeah. Would he want to be our offensive coordinator? Would he want to be an analyst? Does he come in as a quarterbacks coach and just really get to focus on Carson and working on him? Because let's also remember last year, all right, the Colts didn't make the playoffs, but Wentz was 27-7 in touchdowns and interceptions.
Absolutely.
He had a great running game. He had a great offensive line, so I don't want to take that away. But maybe Reich knows how to get the best out of Carson, even if that's only mediocre Carson. That mediocre Carson is a whole lot better than what we saw, working for us. So, yeah, I would be all about Frank Reich making a reunion with him. They like each other. But I think it would cause more turmoil right now. So to Nathan's question of do we need to have another play caller, I think you got to just make Scott Turner ride this out, because then you can give an evaluation on him. And I think I don't know what else people can do with as bad of our offensive line is.
Right.
What more are we really going to do at this point?
And that's the issue, because it's not – I mean, we can call the different plays, but if you don't have the time for the plays to set up, you know what I mean, or the linemen that are going to hold hold the line or whatever, it's just – I'm sorry, man. There's a lot of times – no, and don't get it twisted. There's times where he had time to pass the ball. But at the same time, our I-line is just not – it's so inconsistent. And just with the injuries and everything like that, it definitely does not help. Jared said we give zero damns about Bezos and the NBA.
I was trying to respond to that on Facebook. Yeah, I don't follow the NBA.
Oh, does this mean Brian Mitchell about to coach y'all next? I like to fire, but then that means what's his name? Doc Walker's going to be a coach too, and then that's going to be our version of Dan Campbell over here.
Doc Walker will be the get back coach.
Yeah, you're right.
Out there.
Come on.
Right. Fire people up.
So we'll see. I mean, to be honest with you, I understand the connection between him and Carson. And I mean, obviously, this is a topic for other shows that we do have on the Let's Talk Football agenda or team. And they're going to talk about this because Irsay, he was one of the main ones coming after Dan Snyder and saying, we need to do something. This guy needs to get out. He's, talking about all the issues, and, he's had a lot of issues himself over here in the Colts. I mean, come on now. This guy, I mean, we all remember the fact that they came one game out of the playoffs a year ago, but they started off like 1-7 or something. They started off bad and then had like an 8-game run late in the season. And they got them back into playoff contention. So, get back, coach. They got issues going on. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick breather, and then we're going to come back to you because we got a game this week that we need to win.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.